Hey cracks, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. And this is my very first podcast episode. Yes, I'm really excited. I don't know what to title my podcast because podcast names are actually really hard to come up with. I feel like because they're so niche, it's easier for niche podcasts, but like, I'm just like a girl. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl podcast. Oh my gosh. Wait. But this is a boy talk episode, guys. And like, I have my nose, my ear is itchy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just keep touching my ear. For the visual listeners, please ignore all my weird fidgets. When I talk very animated and I move a lot and I don't know. I be stemming out for real. But anyways, I have my notes on my Notion. Notion sponsored me because y'all organize my life. Part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is my history with boys. I won't say men because we're gonna get into that. What's the difference between a boy and a man? We're gonna get into that. And then I'm gonna just give y'all like what I have learned from my experience messing with men, being a heterosexual woman, and being a black woman, and being a Gen Zer. So that's my perspective. If you don't align with that doesn't mean that you may not find any value in today's episode. You might find something that you never really thought about, but I'm mostly catering to the girls, POCs, yeah. So, and the gays too. I mean, I really don't discriminate. Like, if you find value in what I say, I am happy either way. Like, I don't care who you are. So let's go ahead and start off. Roll the intro. I'm just a girl in the world. I'm a girl. Okay, guys, like, I really don't know where to... High school. Let's just start with high school. I never had a boyfriend. I'm 21. I just turned 21 a month ago, and I never had a boyfriend. I only been to two dates in my life, and that was college. But I wasn't considered desirable in high school. It really any time before junior year of high school, I wasn't receiving any male attention because I was just a weird neurodivergent girly. Like, I was just very weird. And even though I never considered myself ugly, or no one really ever called me ugly, I feel like there was mannerisms that insinuated that I was. And I was so confused and perplexed by it because in my head, I'm like the greatest person in the fucking world. Like, yeah, I do things that do not align with social cues back then because I didn't mask a lot back then. When I learned to mask is when I learned how to be attractive and how to be desirable. And once I figured that out, I was like a whole new world. And there's a lot of people on TikTok that talk about, oh, well, me never having any romance in my earlier years affected me greatly. Honestly, I think me never having a boyfriend, me never having a romance in my early years made me have way higher standards for myself. I think that's what it truly did, because if I would have jumped into a relationship, if I would have jumped into sex, if I would have jumped into kissing and touching, all that type of stuff, I feel like I would be on a very different path. But also that means I was a very late bloomer, and I bloomed pretty late in college. And I did have a bit of a boy crazy era, but after I sat down and thought about, what is this actually doing to me? Like, is this actually nurturing my progress, nurturing my soul? Do these men in my life have any value to me? And okay, this sounds so crazy because if it was the other way around, I'm starting to sound like a podcast bro, like Alpha Male Andrew Tate. Ooh, I don't know if I want to say his name on YouTube because, like, what if he get me demonetized? Will he do that? He in jail? Is he in jail? I don't know. I wish the worst for him, honestly, truly. Fresh and Fit podcast finally got canceled. Like, they're off the platform. Amen. I thank Jesus every day for blessing me. I really do. But also, I really want to make a spirituality episode, like on Law of Assumption. I'm a Law of Assumption girly. Also, look at my new room. I'm going to do a dorm tour really soon, but right now my videos are so late. Like, I'm posting a lot of my videos late right now, so if y'all like, dang, she's a whole different hairstyle than the last video, that's why. The podcast episodes are going to come out more relative to the exact time that I filmed them, but my other videos, they were probably filmed like a month or 2 months ago. Just a disclaimer. But anyways, I also had a really strict father. My father didn't allow me today. I didn't have any homecoming dates. I did have one homecoming, and that was senior year. That was the only I only went to 2 homecomings. Freshman year and senior year. Freshman year I didn't have a date. Because no one liked me. No, everyone hated me. Freshman year, I was so hated, bro, because my sense of humor was based off of the people that I was surrounded by, right? And who I was surrounded by was very privileged white boys. Like, those are the only people that would talk to me, is very privileged white boys. I mean, sometimes I would talk to the white girls, but they used to be really sensitive, honestly. And I remember this one time, I made this white girl cry in class, and everybody demonized the fuck out of me. And ever since then, I'm just like, I don't even know, like, I don't know if I could vibe with them. Black boys hated me. They thought I was like a disgusting monkey. Black girls treated me really badly. I was bullied by the black girls. Like, they did not fuck with me at all. And I kind of feel like I understand why now. I feel like a lot of this is internalized anti-blackness, internalized misogyny, but also maybe I carried myself in a way that gave off I didn't want to fuck with them in the first place, you know? Because I was a white man's whore, to be honest. Like, I really was. Not in a romantic way, but just that's who I gravitated towards, were white men. Also, my stepfather is a white man. He took me in, me and my mom, when I was in the 2nd grade. So because of that, I feel like I always saw white men as my savior. Like, this is crazy, but that's how I truly believed when I was growing up. So I would try to cater my personality towards white men, and I would do very controversial, like I would, like Shane Dawson. I had Shane Dawson type of sense of humor, like Logan Paul type of sense of humor, and because of that, that was very off-putting for a lot of people, because, like, look at me, I'm not supposed to be talking like them. Like, I don't know. Because they was just, you know, middle school white boys, they're just so lame. They're really lame. And I was lame. So that's really the main reason why I never had a boyfriend. Like, I was just, my personality was a deterrent itself. I didn't really think it had nothing to do with looks, but, because I always got comments on my body. I am a slim, thick girly, and a lot of times people will comment on my behind, my bosom, and at first it was girls who commented because they noticed it first. They say, dang, you're the thickest, skinniest girl that I know. I used to hear that like multiple times, and I never really understood that until like sophomore to junior year transitioning. That's when I figured out, like, oh, men like this. And when my bosom started to grow, black men started to holler at me. They never cared about me before, but when I had that fatty, but also I was very off-put by that, because that's when I couldn't have any more male friends. After sophomore year, I couldn't have any more male friends because they became more sexual towards me, and it was scary. Like, I don't know you. We supposed to be having fun. We supposed to be making jokes. We're not supposed to be doing this. And yeah, I started getting objectified basically that time. And so the first 2 years of high school, I was found extremely annoying because I wasn't desirable. And then when I became desirable, I started to become very objectified. I'm not sure if I needed to clarify that because I kind of just said that. Oh no. But anyways, dang, I think I really covered everything in high school. Yeah, I never had a boyfriend. I never really took that to heart though. I may have subconsciously, but consciously, all I thought was, I need to self-improve, you know? Like, because I wasn't getting the exact attention that I wanted, I thought I had to reinvent myself, hence college, to get the exact attention that I wanted. And the attention that I specifically wanted wasn't sexual attention, but more like, because I'm a Wattpad girly. I grew up on Wattpad, and I grew up on romance novels. I wanted my Prince Charming. And once I realized later in college there really wasn't a Prince Charming, not in the areas I was looking for, but I'm gonna get to that later. I kind of just gave up on that, and I wanted to self-improve for my own sake. So I was very huge into self-improvement. I wanted to look my best. I really focused on beauty. Transitioning from high school to college, I really wanted that glow up. And I feel like everybody did in 2020. I graduated 2020. Everybody wanted to glow up. I feel like quarantine time was the best time for me to focus on that. If y'all look through my channel, you see a very big difference in the way that I carry myself, the way that I talk, and just the way that I do things. And honestly, that was just me putting on another mask. And honestly, if I say honestly one more time, beauty is social capital, okay? Even though I was creating a new mask for myself to hide who I truly was, nobody was going to care about the things that I had to say unless I was attractive. And that's just the reality of it. In order for me to be listened, in order for me to be heard, I have to be looking presentable and be easy on the eyes. Once I understood this and internalized this, I focus so much more on my appearance, on my hygiene, and just on so much more, because I know it's very common, especially for autistic girls, to not really understand the importance of beauty or the importance of hygiene. I know a lot of young autistic girls have really bad hygiene. I was one. I used to stink real bad. Like, it's a no TMI. I used to be a no funky girl. I didn't wear no deodorant or nothing. Like, I really didn't understand why I needed to until I wanted to be desired. But desired because I want to bring something to this world. I know I'm a very intelligent person. I am such a creative person. I love to create. I love to make things. But ugly people, I'm not trying to say like there's ugly people, there's beautiful people. Like, I think everybody's beautiful, honestly. I really do. But ugly people, as the non-conventionally attractive people, have to work 10 times harder to achieve certain goals. And I'm already black, I'm already a woman. I don't want to work harder than I have to. I really want black women to understand another form of activism is living a life of ease and comfort. You don't have to do the struggle Olympics all the goddamn time. You could really take a step back and just enjoy life, enjoy the things that you like to do, indulge in the more fancy things in life. That's your birthright. That's your right. You don't have to fight. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be independent. And that's something that I also started to understand in college, because men started doing things for me besides my father. I hate, big pet peeve, I hate when men rev up their engines and shit, because it's just like shows that you have a small PP. Like, okay, we get it. Your PP small, but you don't have to shout it out to everybody else within the tri-state area. Like, I hate when people rev their engine, like, especially when I'm filming. It always happens when I'm filming because y'all right beside a window. But yeah, let's get into college, specifically college. Okay. College is when I got the most male attention I've ever got in my entire life. I'm still in college and I still get a lot of male attention. And honestly, this is when I realized I don't like male attention, because men are just not good people. And not all men. I really learned this now, my last year of like being around men, my last year of dating, my last year of romantic episodes, which I'm going to get into real soon. We just have to really choose better. Like, there are good guys. There really are a lot of good guys. It's like the Russell Wilson versus Future debate, you know? And at this time in college, I was just choosing the Futures, okay? I'm the type of girl who are more attracted to the Futures than I am more attracted than the Russell Wilsons. And I hate to say it, this is when I found out my type. And my type is athletes, like specifically basketball players. Like, that's the cream of the crop to me. And if you mess with basketball players, it's not for the weak. Like, it's really not. It's really not. And I really want to give any other good guy who showed interest in me the time of day, because I was so focused on chasing after the Daquans and the Tyreeks, like, you know. And that's also when I flipped from white man's whore to black man's whore, because I was at an HBCU. And black men be fine, like they're fine. They have so much swagger to them, like they will never be irreplaceable. Like black men will always be my number one, definitely. But I mean, I like being a white boy swag every now and again. But anyways, bro, sophomore year was probably the peak of my boy crazy era. I had these group of girlfriends, right? Mind you, freshman year, I had a really big friend group, like 10, 12 people, but I wasn't that close to the girl side like I was to the boy side. I just was always have more friends that were boys. And I had to stop having boy friends when around junior year of high school, because they started being sexual towards me and I didn't like that. So when I got to college and all my boyfriends were gay or respectful, it was like game on. This is what I've been waiting for. This, like, I love, oh my gosh, I love having gay boyfriends. I fucking love that shit. Not to like fetishize them as like a GBF. I don't really believe in that GBF shit, but I don't know. I gotta do my laundry. Wait a minute, I'll be back. Let me take out Aqua for a break. Sponsor me, Aquaphor. I love y'all. I'm an Aquaphor girly, not a Vaseline girly, but low key, I like both. I have a Vaseline right here. I don't really use this one as much, but I kind of want to use it right now. Let me use it right now. Let me mix it. The Forbidden Duo. I think it's so funny in like girl world. There's so many like sides. Like, oh, well, I'm Pilates girly. Oh, I'm a weights girly. Oh, I'm a Birkenstocks girly. Oh, well, I don't know nothing about sandals, but you know, like, that's cute. I think that's super fun. But anyways, I'm trying to think where we was at in the story. I could just look at the video and go see, but nah. Anyways, I gravitate towards men when it comes to forming close friendships. And I think that's because of my internalized misogyny. I just believe that men were easier to get along with. And that's just not true at all. It's really not. And I really became self-aware about my internalized misogyny because I was so bullied by girls when I was in high school, and I just didn't vibe with them well. I just thought they were just bitchy, and that was me being bitchy towards them. So the energy that you put out is the energy that you get back. So you believe like, oh, I believe girls are catty, I don't like talking to them, there's so much drama. They can sense that type of pick-me-ass vibe from you, and they will act accordingly to what you believe. Like, that's just law of assumption. That's your reticular activation system working in your brain. That's just all that is. So if you change the narrative in your mind, then that's it. And that's basically what I did. Sophomore year, I had a lot more friends that were girls, and I was a lot more closer to them than I ever was before. I saw most of my friends are still to this day usually tend to be girls, but my closest friends are also boys. It's really just a mixture right now, and I'm okay with that. I think that's how it should be. I think it should be a balance of both genders or all genders. Non-binary, it doesn't matter. It should be a mixture of people. You shouldn't just be around one type of person. You should diversify your friend group. And I think diversification is what really creates a more productive and healthy environment, because you have so many different perspectives and people walk different life paths than you. And because of that, they can implement their own wisdom into you, so you don't make the same mistakes as they do. Or if you do make a mistake, or if you do trip, or you do fall, you have the knowledge you need to pick yourself back up, or you have the support. The support is huge. You have the support that you need to continue to prevail. I'm a little nasally right now. Wait a minute, I need to blow my nose or something. I didn't do anything, but yeah. So with that being said, like, let me go back to my notes. I'm making sure that I'm hitting on the things I'm supposed to be talking about. what came with girl friendship is this whole new world of boys that I couldn't get with boy friendships, right? I started going partying a lot more. I started going to a lot more get-togethers, you know, co-ed hangouts, being in boys' dorms, LA after night. Like, I was surrounded by girls who were conventionally attractive, you know, and since I was considered conventionally attractive, I would be put in these groups of girls who knew something was a bit off with me, but also I bring good vibes. Like, I'm a really good vibes person, so they just they knew I was a bit off, but they liked it, you know. They said, oh well, you're a bit different than what I thought you would be. So I think I formed a lot of friendships that way, and those friendships with these pretty girls led me to being around these pretty boys. Because I'm around these boys, I started getting no loco. I started getting no cray. And like nothing too dramatic. It's just like I started making out with boys, and really that was a huge learning curve. Like, to kiss a boy. I remember this one time this boy came to my dorm and he ate a bag of Doritos out my snack box, and he was like wanting to continue making out. I'm just like, no, like, your breath stank. And apparently that really hurted his feelings, and he never really talked to me again. Like, I had to learn certain social cues that, like, boys are actually a lot more sensitive than we think they are. Because, like, if a pretty girl hurt their feelings, that's their ego being bruised. Like, that's really what it is. And it took me a minute to understand it, because having a male friendship, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say to them. You treat them like dogs. You know, it's kind of funny. Like, you don't know, they like to be degraded. They don't want to admit it, but men like to be degraded. A small, like, just a little bit. But if you're trying to be in a romantic position with a man, you gotta be really nice to them, and you really gotta stroke their ego a lot. And I'm not really down for that, honestly. Like, I'm very unfiltered. Not because I'm on purpose, it's just because of my neurodivergency. Like, I don't really understand how to sugarcoat stuff. I just say it how it is. And I guess it came with a few repercussions, but honestly, like, I was just trying to test the waters out. Really, with this era of me being boy crazy, it really wasn't that. It was just me trying to see what I like in a man, in a real life man, not a fictional book man, but in a real life man. My book type and my real type is two different types. So guys, this is when I got really introduced into the Divine Nine, pledging, and just like that whole crowd of men. I really don't like that. I felt very uncomfortable a few too many times going to fraternity parties. Like, a lot of rape culture. It really is a lot of rape culture that is very perpetuated in our Black community that I just wasn't fucking with. I really wasn't. And like, this isn't a diss to Divine Nine. Like, I would never pledge, but I think we should really be more aware of how the men treat the women in these situations. Like, I feel like SA shouldn't be normalized, but it is in these type of parties. It really is. Cough, cough, cue dogs. But I digress. I don't want to be like one of those like SJWs. I'd be like, well, this is wrong and da 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 da. Like, I'm just saying based off of my experience, that's just not my type of crowd. If you do like that, you can continue to like that. You don't have to stop on my accord. Do what makes you happy. Just because I said I don't like it doesn't mean you don't have to not like it, okay? So I don't want to hear none of that in the comments. Like, you're just a lame. I am a lame. I like to be asleep. I like to be in my bed by 10 p.m., sometimes 8. I'm a grandma. This leads me to my second half of college. This is when I started to like date more intentionally and be more cautious of who I give my energy to. So, let's talk about code name. Okay, let me just tell the whole story. Like, I had just transferred, right? This is my second-ish quarter, because I have a quarter system at my new school, so it's not semesters, it's 4 quarters instead of 2 semesters, right? And this is the second quarter. This is when I'm like, I know a lot of people on campus. I know a lot of Black people on campus. I'm really socializing with a lot of people. I'm very extroverted. The first quarter of school, I am the most extroverted. I am going to every single event until I get burnt out for the next 2 quarters, right? So this is that era, right? Me and my friend Miami, we saw that the African Student Union is giving out free food. So we was like, we're going to go to this African Student Union event and get some food, like, I never really had African food, and I was very curious. Like, me and Miami are foodies, so we're always going to try out the new foods, you know? We pull up to the event. We're scheduled to we're supposed to have this event at 6, that African Student Union meeting. And then we have to go to this Kappa probate. Also, when I say I don't like Divine 9 like parties, those are like the house parties. I love probates. But anyways, and I love stepping. I love a lot of aspects of Greek life. I really do. I just don't like that aspect. But anyways, we supposed to go to this Kappa probate at like 9, right? So we was like, oh, this is great. We'll just go there, we go there 30 minutes late. The meeting should be close to the end. Get some food, then dip. That was the plan, right? I don't know why we thought that was gonna work. So also, my friend participated in the Devil's Lettuce, right? And we was smelling like Mary Jane, right? And we was thinking when we came in, it's gonna be all people like us, our age. We opened the door. It's a bunch of uncles and aunties staring straight at us, smelling like straight dank. Of course, immediately I was the first one to get chastised by one of the uncles, and he forced me to go to the front of this meeting. Also, it's inside somebody's apartment. There's like 50 people in this apartment. It's really cramped. We barely had anywhere to sit, right? And they made me do the speech and debate thing where I had to debate why dessert should be banned and shit like that. Also, there was this preacher there, just like, I'm not sure if he was African preacher, but he was African and he was preaching. And the first thing he said was, Europeans don't bathe. And honestly, like, he kind of slayed that because historically that was correct. They did not bathe. Some of them don't bathe to this day. I mean, to each his own, but but I knew when he said that I was in for a very long night. We didn't leave till around 8:45, but in between this time, we're just sitting there listening to sermons, playing these like games, talking about our achievements, just real Black excellence, and we don't see no food being prepared. My friend is getting really anxious, and multiple men keep asking me for my Snapchat, but I'm a bit spaced and I'm not really understanding what's going on. So when I did the debate, I was just like rambling because somebody said something about osteoporosis and like dairy, and like osteoporosis like cause mental health issues or something like that. I really don't know what I was saying, so they just made me sit down and like cut me off and was like, yeah, we had enough of that. Let's somebody real debate. Like, it was crazy. But this is not what this is about. So multiple men asked for my Snapchats and I gave it to them because it's my Snapchat. Like, I don't care about Snapchat. If it was my number, that's a different story. Then all of a sudden, this boy sat beside me, and I knew a few people there already, but this boy I didn't know, so I was kind of wondering why he just sat so close beside me. And then he put his phone out, like, snap, like put your snap in. He really didn't say nothing for real. I was like, okay. So I put my snap in, and then all of a sudden he started interrogating the fuck out of me. He was hella tall though. And he was kind of handsome, but I wasn't really focused on boys. I was focused on, like, I'm hungry and I want to leave. That's what I was focused on, right? So he's like asking me, what is your name? My name is Veoncedefaye. Are you Nigerian? And I was like, no. What does your name mean? Nothing. It really doesn't mean anything of importance, because I'm not like African, but I know that Africans, their names mean something like, You know, they speak their success into existence, and I really wished my name was something like that. That's actually so lit. But anyways, he was like, well, if you're not African, then how did you find out about this event? Like, why are you here? Type shit. I was like, what the fuck? Group me. You ever heard of a group chat? That's how I know. Like, y'all made flyers intended that y'all want everybody to come. So keep in mind, I didn't really know who this was. So after a few days, I get a bunch of Snapchats from a bunch of dudes I don't remember, don't know who they are. And I keep getting messaged by this one person, and I just ignored it. For a week later, I get a follow in a DM from the same exact person. I look at their profile and their bio. It's the dude that sat beside me, right? And I was like, oh, he actually cuter than I remember. Like, maybe I should give this a chance. So I DM him, and in the bio, his height, he literally put his height in the bio, and it was 6'6". So that's what we called him. Me and my friends all called him 6'6", right? Because that's his height. And he played basketball. So, you know, when I saw he did play basketball, and he's taller than me, I'm 5'10". So I'm Cindy Crawford height. I'm Zendaya height. I'm Megan Thee Stallion height. Like, I need me a big boy. It's cuffing season, and I want a big boy. I want a big boy. I want a big boy. Yeah, I want a big boy. So we were talking for, I guess, a month and a half. We're basically like, before we hit our first roadblock, we're talking for like a month and a half. And I'm going to his dorm. He's going to my dorm. He always walks me back to my dorm. Like, we're having sleepovers, we're cuddling, we're kissing. We're not having sex though. I'm gonna get to why we weren't having sex, because I'm very, like, my body is a temple. I feel like because of high school, I really saw myself as value. Like, I don't really believe in purity culture. I don't believe in that, but I definitely believe in being intentional with your energy and being intentional with who you be intimate with. I think sex is very intimate, and that's just not something that's meant for everybody. If you don't agree with that, that's you. Like, literally, I don't have nothing against that if you don't believe that. I really don't. If you don't believe in soul ties, that's great. Like, a lot of people try to make this, you know, Twitter is so SJW coded. Like, it's actually cringe when you get on Twitter to be like, soul ties was this thing that was created by misogyny and all this type of stuff. I don't believe that. I fully believe in soul ties, and I fully believe, like, who you let in your body will greatly affect you. Especially when we're women. Like, sex is a lot more at stake when you're a woman than if you are a man, because there's something being inserted inside of you instead of you inserting inside of someone else. And also, it's just, we can get pregnant. Men can get pregnant. We are the ones that take birth control. Men don't take birth control. You know, it's just too much at stake when it comes to sex that you can't just be doing it willy-nilly. And that's just my personal beliefs. If you don't believe that, I may have a lot of hoe friends. A lot of my friends are hoes, you know? So because a lot of my friends are hoes and whores, and I don't mean that derogatorily, like, I really don't. I don't mean that derogatorily, because they be living their best life. But also, I see the lows that they go through with men, and I see how men treat them after they gave up the kitty cat. Like, they won't get no takes back. Well, you know, men do shitty shit. Like, men ain't shit for real. A man can have sex with you and have no feelings towards you. And that right there, the fact that men can just sleep with somebody and don't care about somebody, that alone makes me not want to have sex. But, like, it's really not even that deep for real. People, just do what you want to do. Really do what you want to do. Like, you don't have to listen to me, like, but also don't demonize other people for doing what they want to do. Don't just have, like, it's okay to have your reasonings, but do what you want to do, really. That's the moral of that story. But anyways, roadblock number 1. because I really didn't want to move too fast, right? Sexually with 6'6", he was very pushy. He's just a horny ass nigga. And I hate to use that language, excuse my French, but horny ass niggas don't deserve no rights. That's what I truly believe, because if you cross that boundary one time, I said, I don't want to do this, you cross it, I'm gonna correct you right then and there. If you do it again, you're cut off. So that's what I did. I cut him off the first time. He loved to bomb the fuck out of me, right? When I cut him off, he was blowing up my phone. He said that he had the most beautiful, sweetest paragraphs, like shit that he never said to me before. And also, he's a Leo. I'm a Leo woman. He's a Leo man. Like, that was not a good combo in the first damn place, but I'm really attracted to a Leo man because I really like overly confident men. Like, I love a Gojo. I love Gojo Satoru. Fuck, whatever it's called. So because of that, I just was so like played. That nigga played the fuck out of me. I never thought I was going to be a person to be played, but I got played. Like, he was showing characteristics of, I guess, narcissism. I'm not a psychologist, but the shit that he was doing was quote unquote narcissistic. Like, that whole love bombing shit, that shit happens so often, bro. Oh my gosh. Like, men, they have that shit to a T. Like, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They literally know what they're doing, right? So I took him back, right? And then he did the same shit again. And also, he wasn't very attentive for two things that he did wrong was, first, he crossed the boundary. 2, he wasn't attentive. I'm not gonna fuck you if you don't respond to my text within 3 days. First of all, that's such a low ass standard. If you don't respond to my text within 2 hours and you wanna fuck some, you're delusional. If you don't respond to my TikToks, you're delusional. I'm not gonna let you smash. Like, let's use your common sense. Like, let's think here. If you can't even do the bare minimum, why would I get bare? You know, like, you get what I'm saying? That nigga really thought. He really thought. So when he tried to do that love bombing shit again, he actually broke into my dorm. He literally broke into my dorm when I cut him off for good, okay? And the crazy thing about love bombing is you get addicted to it, low heat, and like you be think I was almost second guessing myself, like, should I get back with him? Everybody was like, are you gonna get back with I feel like it's so normalized for girls, for women to go back to somebody that has hurted them, because we always are so optimistic when it comes to romance. We think, oh, well, what if he's changed? What if he really means it? He don't mean it. Because if he did mean it, he would have treated you right the first damn time. So don't fall for that damn leprechaun ass trick no more. Like, girls, stop asking your girlfriends, oh, are you going to take him back? Don't even put that fucking notion in their head. Don't even do that. Don't even do that, because it does so much more damage than good. So all my friends around me, it's like, well, maybe you should hear him out. All my superiors, all my boss, like, everybody was like, give 6'6" a second chance. I already gave him a second chance, so they wanted me to give him a third chance. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm just not one of those type of people, because I truly believe a man will always show their true colors through their actions and not their words. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest thing you need to really take away from this video. Whatever a man show you is how they're going to treat you. Point blank fucking period. Like, ain't shit else there that it is. Men are not stupid creatures, but they're very simple creatures, okay? They're not stupid, but they're simple, okay? Their actions speak volumes, okay? Their actions will speak volumes. And just to show you, a man will have sex with a woman, right? And don't give two shits about them. So a nigga texts you on and off, giving you hot and cold, that's an indicator they don't really give a fuck about you. If you have to Okay, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself because I need to wrap up this story. Let's go back to the story. Let's go back to the story. He broke into my dorm after I blocked him on almost everything, right? Trying to find where the fuck I was. He knocked on my door. I instantly knew it was him. I ran into the bathroom and locked the door. My roommate opened the door and he was looking like he's 6'6" and my roommate's shorter than me. So he's literally looking above her, looking in the room, looking for me. And my roommate, we already had an emergency plan just in case this happened. She told him that I was in my mom's house, right? And I was so fucking terrified, as I rightfully should be. I was screaming, crying, and throwing up in the bathroom. Not literally, but yeah, I was terrified. And then a week and a half later, while I was going to the housing department to clear something up with housing, I heard Veoncedefaye in a deep ass voice. I turned around. It's 6'6", like walking hella fast towards me. All I do is sprint. I take a full sprint until I hit that corner. And he's chasing, I look back, he's chasing behind me, yelling my name. Veoncedefaye, 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 screaming my name in front of the whole pavilion where everybody is at the what's it called? The hub, no. The pavilion. You know what I'm talking about, the pavilion. The pavilion is the pavilion. Every college has a pavilion where everybody be at. That's what he was doing. I'm just like, this is terrifying as fuck. Men, yeah.
We're going to Texas Roadhouse at 7:45 if you want to go.
7:45?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. You gonna say hi to my YouTube channel?
You're doing a vlog right now?
I'm doing a podcast episode.
Hi guys, I thought she was in here talking to somebody for real. We thought she was like in an argument. That's why. No.
I'm doing a podcast episode by boys.
I thought somebody was in here. He was off with somebody. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh, Christopher, did you do your new room video?
No, I haven't done it because I had to add some more pictures to like the wall, because this wall is completely bare. Oh shit.
Oh my god, you put that up. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
This is cute.
Yes, thank you. I put this together. It's not at all how it's supposed to be. Basically I cut that shit off. I cut it off, and really my biggest thing, I used to think it was a avoidant attachment style, that I'm so quick to cut people off without any second thought, but really it's not, because there's so many fucking shitty people in this world. You don't allow them to play with you like that. You really don't allow that to happen. So really that's where I'm at right now. I could give you a more recent update on my love life, but let's not, because the people who I want to talk about, they be watching my videos. So I gotta stop. But let's talk about like what I have learned fully from these experiences. Number one, this is the biggest thing. This is really the biggest thing right here. Stop rewarding bad behavior in the men, okay? Choose better. Pick better, right? There are a lot of good men in this world, but the reality is a lot of those good men are squares, okay? You are not going to find a good man. It's very rare. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you're not going to find a very good man that's in the NBA. You're not going to find a very good man that's a rapper. You're not going to find a very good man that's a stock bro, that's a fraternity boy, you know? It's very hard to come by. Know your audience and know what they can do. I mean, a nice little booty call, that's fine. But to cuff them, that's a no. You don't cuff those men. And if you really want to be treated well, you go to a man that knows how to treat you well. And those men typically aren't the most confident, aren't the most, I don't even know, like, you know what I'm talking about. They're the Russell Wilsons, like the Russell Wilsons and the Futures. It's really that simple. If you choose the Futures, you're going to get treated like you chose Future. You know, you're going to get treated like Sierra. You're going to get treated like that. And it's really like, I know it's hard. It's really hard because we have such big hearts and we have so much love to give. We do. I get it. I'm a lover girl just like y'all. But if you can't do that shit for yourself and set that boundary, do it for your daughter. Do it for your friends. Do it for the women, the next generation of women, so they don't have to put up with the same bullshit that you did. If we start conditioning men right the fuck now, that we're not keeping up with the same bullshit that we always have been in the last million years of the patriarchy, then we could really see that change. Right now, we're seeing that change right now before our eyes. There's like this crazy there's just like crazy stats about the male loneliness epidemic that's going on for right now. Men from ages 18 to 35, like 50% of them are virgins, and not most of them are incels, but they are more likely prone to become incels because we as women, we're not putting up with bullshit no more. The divorce rate is at an all-time high. We want what we deserve. I'd rather choose to be single than choose to be with a man that don't fucking value me, that treat me anything less than what I deserve. That's the mindset you need to have. If your daughter was treated like this by a man, would you be fucking sick to your stomach? Yes. So why the fuck are you letting yourself be treated like that? That doesn't make any sense. If you wouldn't want your daughter to be treated like that, why are you accepting that type of disrespect in your life? And one thing about a man knows a man will never disrespect you unintentionally. Every time a man disrespects you, there is a deliberate decision in their fucking brains. Every single time. And disrespect to me is if you know a boundary and you cross that boundary and you continue to do so. If I see a pattern in your behavior of making the same mistake over and over again, you're doing it on purpose. Men are not stupid, but they are very simple. And this is like the holy grail thing that I have learned with men. And me as being a neurodivergent, autistic girly, I love patterns. That's my shit. That's my P's and Q's. I love statistics. I love accounting, okay? I can spot a pattern a mile fucking away, okay? That's why it's so hard for me to really date people, because it's so easy for me to see that their bad habits is going to be a lifetime thing with them. They're not going to grow out of it. You can't fix them, okay? You can't fix them. If they value you, they would change it immediately and would never revert back. If they don't value you, they will continue to carry on to how they've been carrying on, you know? It's very easy to read a man. If you have to question if a man likes you, the lisp is going crazy, y'all. Okay, anyways, let me break down the difference between a boy and a man. If you have to question if that person likes you, that's a boy. Because a man will make it known. A man won't leave nothing up for interpretation. If a man likes you, he will tell you that he likes you, okay? Boys don't do that. No, boys don't do that. That's a really key difference between a man and a boy. Period. Yeah. Boys let you struggle, you know? Boys let you struggle. Men, they want to make your life easier, right? That's really another difference, you know? And what I seek in a partner, my type in a partner, is a man who is valuable, who brings something to the table and makes my life easier instead of being a hindrance. If you are hindering me any type of way, if you're trying to convince me to come to your apartment instead of me studying for my test tomorrow, no. If you're trying to convince me to go to a party and not do what I have to do, not go to the doctor's office, like crazy shit like that. If you're a bad influence, period, you're not for me. You should be trying to aid me in my goals in life. I'm not trying to aid you in shit, you know? I mean, like, okay, this sounds a little fucked up because me personally, my love language is acts of service, not really words of affirmation, but I I like to receive words of affirmations, but only a little bit. But really acts of service. Like, I love helping, like, someone who I love. I just love helping them, and I love doing things for them. I really do. And that's also what I expect in return, me personally. If you don't, just figure out your love language and how you like to be loved, and I promise you everything will fall in place. But yeah, really, like, let me go through my notes because I know I have a lot more notes on this. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I already said most of this though. Ooh, another one with men. Be patient with men, but don't be lenient with men. Especially at this age, right now, it's okay to be patient with the man. Because I get it. Men, we're all in our early 20s. We're all trying to learn and grow, okay? We're all going to make mistakes. We're all, like, I get it. I really do. But don't be lenient. Don't be lenient. If you give them a little bit of room, they're going to force their way through. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Also, like, if you punish a man, like, this is what I think of cutting people off. I think cutting people off, not letting men to have access to you, that's basically you conditioning them to do better. So I think it's like me cutting off a man, me revoking my access from a man, it's me doing a favor to the man. Because now, nigga, you know not to do that shit no more. You know what you did is wrong, and you come across the wrong one, you're gonna get done up. Run up, done up. I'm kidding. But next, really, this is like just about misogyny. If you are unaccessible, which means you're a very beautiful woman, or you're a very high status woman, be very safe and be very careful, because men, they get very violent and very aggressive to women that they have no access towards. Look at 6'6". The nigga literally broke inside my dorm and literally chased me across campus because I didn't want to fuck with him no more. Because I wouldn't let him fuck, basically. So think about that. I'm just a regular smuggler person. Imagine that shit with Drew Barrymore, who just had her stalker literally almost run up on the stage. Look at Rihanna. Look at Margot Robbie, who they just called her mid on Twitter. Look at Zendaya, who they did the same exact thing to. These are the most beautiful, intelligent, talented women in the world. And they're being treated like this by men just shows you that men are losing the I don't give a fuck battle. They're losing the war, okay? Because of this epidemic of lonely men, they feel bitter as fuck because they're not getting chose. But nigga, listen up. You're not gonna get chose if you don't do what you're supposed to do. I don't feel bad for y'all. I really don't. I don't feel bad for male loneliness. Maybe if you invested more into platonic friendships in a way that's not toxic, maybe y'all will be actually likable, but y'all are not likable, and y'all don't really bring nothing to the table that women can't get to the table them fucking selves. You don't bring shit here. The table is on the goddamn ground. The table is in hell. You know? Y'all are just doing demons. There are just vampires, bloodsuckers, fame fuckers. Olivia Rodrigo said it best. That's my bitch. But that's really like it. Also, like, I feel like I want to touch on this again, like, associated with a man that doesn't treat you anything less than a goddess is not rewarding at all. They get way more out of it than you do. Start choosing yourself first. Don't think about, do this man like me? If you have to question if that man likes you, that's not the right man. You need to think, do I like this nigga? Okay, not nigga, but do I like him? If you can think, oh, do I like him? That's where you need to be mentally when it comes to this. And 9 times out of 10, if you ask yourself that question, it's going to be no. And I'm not talking about the deluded girly who try to convince themselves that they like every nigga that they touch, you know? Because I used to be like that. I used to convince myself to like a nigga. Call 66. Because when women get intimate with men, there's a hormone that releases into our brains. I think the love hormone when we get intimate. But with men, it's the exact opposite. They release a different hormone. I think it's maybe, I don't know, testosterone or some shit. I don't know. But even science backs it up. That's how you know men ain't shit. Even science say men ain't shit. Like, like it's crazy. It really is. So really protect your peace, protect your energy. And I'm telling you, all this energy that you invest into romantic partnership, you should invest into platonic partnership. It's way more rewarding and it's a lot better. One of my favorite movies I saw was Pioneer. The Pioneer. Oh, shit, it's not called that. It's not called Pioneer Woman. I fuck with Pioneer Woman though. Her shit in Walmart. I fuck with in her cooking channel. I fuck with her heavy. But the 20th Century Woman with Elle Fanning and Greta, who just directed and made Barbie movie. She's a fucking boss. She's a boss. But yeah, it was a community of women basically coexisting within the same like house. Well, anyways, I'm not finna explain this movie to y'all. Just know that we could build communities of only women and really thrive. More feminine, dominant, I don't know, feminine dominant, womanly dominant areas, womanly dominant communities, womanly dominant social media spaces like Pinterest and Tumblr and shit like that. I used to demonize femininity, I would say all the way up until college freshman year. And then all of a sudden I realized, I already said this, but I realized that was just internalized misogyny. So I switched over to pinker tones. I switched over to more colors. I wanted to have more friends that were girls. I wanted to do more Pinterest. I wanted to do more Tumblr. I wanted to do more Pilates. I wanted to do more yoga. I wanted to dance more. I wanted to do more makeup. You know, all these things that I used to consider taboo or cringe, I love to do now. I love to feel like a frilly girly girl all the time. Like, that's what makes me happy, and I'm so much happier doing this than trying to perform for the male gaze and trying to do this cool girl act. You do not get a special cookie for being a cool girl, okay? Cool girls don't win. They don't. Look at Gone Girl. Like, cool girls don't win. They really don't. And I don't know why men told us this lie that they did. Well, we do know why, because of the patriarchy, but don't fall for it. Really don't. It's a setup. Yeah. It's a stick up. But yeah, that's it. I hope y'all like this episode of the podcast. I'm just a girl in the world. Yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all got something useful from this, especially for my younger girls. Because I'm a young girl. I'm a young teenage 21-year-old girl. So we relate. Oh no, if y'all like this episode, give some like topics of what y'all want to hear next. So I do things that y'all want to do, because I could talk about any single topic for hours. So, because I like to talk. I was the co-captain of my speech and debate team. Weird flex, but okay. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, or don't. Bye.
Instead of complaining about anything, learn to be thankful for everything. # Speaking from the heart. B. Fletcher.